What does Clew do, and what do you guys actually sell?
So Clew is building some sort of command and control, which is going to be deployed in multiple centers, which is gathering different kind of hospital into one facility, which help you basically to manage your patient in the acute care, what we're calling the ICU, intensive care units, which is based on many models which are coming from the world of artificial intelligence that can be, supervised learning, unsupervised, anomaly detection, which is basically gather a lot of information at real time and provide an insight where the patient is going, which means that who is going to be stable, who are going to be deteriorating, which kind of deterioration, what is the source, what is the trajectory, and more so, what do you need to do with the patient in order to save life, which is coming, very, very aggressively right now and giving, the COVID-19, which the heart of, those patients are relying within intensive care units because those patients need to be ventilated. They are basically connected to a ventilator. They are equipped with many kind of elements, which is helping us basically to save life. And more so is to deal, with those complex patients in a very different environment, which the different environment is predictive. Because if you're taking, the entire population that you have in the hospital today, they're treated as evidence-based medicine, which means that you need, as a doctor, you need to see an evidence in order to deal with the patients. The problem that we have in the ICU that most of the patients are in very critical condition. And when you have an evidence, it's too late. You missed the train already. So the uniqueness of Clew is the predictive model, which is coming to tell you this patient, which look normal. His heart rate is in the right, range, and, blood pressure, pulse, cardiac output, everything which is within the normal. But I'm going to tell you that in a couple of hours, you will see a major deterioration that you should start acting now. So you need to intervene as early as you can because it's a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. When you didn't act on time, you're going to lose the patient. That's it. This is pretty much what we're doing here.
So it's a very, if I understand correctly, it's a very sophisticated AI-based decision support system for the staff.
Correct. It's real-time system which is gather a lot of information in real time from the bedside, from the monitor, from the EMR, collect everything, which is built on a very super kind of modeling, which is superset of modeling around, different kind of deterioration, which allowed you to act upon, stuff that you don't really see currently. But storm is coming, and you should act as fast as you can.
It's one of those things you kind of think, how was it not invented earlier, right?
Like always, it's the right, timing, the fact that you started to see data and we're basically based on the data.
So you're getting all the data from the different sensors of the ICU?
So we're basically collecting information from four different sources. The first one is the EMR, the electronic medical record, that you have all the historical kind of thing, demographics, ethnic group, those kind of things. The second source of data is the medication system, which is very, very large. And medication is not just taking a pill. It's really try to model every single of them and really try to understand, what the effectiveness of each medication. The third one is the labs. So you're asking question, are the patient have X or Z? The results are coming and we're collecting and analyzing those data. And the fourth, source of data is the data which is coming from the bedside, from the monitor, from the dialysis machine, from the pump, from the ventilators, Every single equipment which is connect to the patient is transmitting information in real time. It's a streaming data which is coming you and basically deliver some sort of a view where the patient is going right now.
And what is the business model of Clew? Is it the hardware system? Is it SaaS? Is it professional services, all or everything?
So we're not doing anything with hardware. We're completely software platform which is SaaS-based, and the business model is basically per bed per year. So you're charging basically X amount of dollars on every bed that you have, every bed which is equipped and analyzed. This is pretty much, the stuff that we're getting.
And what is an average deal size for Clew? Is it in the millions of dollars? Is it the tens of thousands of dollars?
It depends on, in a large hospital like, 1,000 bed and more, it's around millions of dollars. And we're not dealing with small ICUs. We're mainly, no, not mainly, we're focusing on the US market. In the US market, you don't currently seeing a standalone hospital anymore. Given, the health reform, you see a lot of merger and acquisitions, and you have a lot of networks that was developed over the last 6-7 years. So you can see networks which you have from 3 hospitals all the way to 120 hospitals. By the way, some of them are public companies, which, holding companies which are, traded in the New York Stock Exchange, and they're business like any other business. They have a P&L, and they need to be profitable, and they need to make sure that the earning per share is going up. This is, completely different from every system that I know. It's completely private.
And so the business model is pure SaaS, or is it SaaS with professional services?
It's SaaS plus professional services, because every hospital want to do something different.
Right.
Want to see that the UI will look different, need to integrate with other stuff as well. But the basic, licensing is a SaaS licensing model.
And would you say the balance between professional services and the SaaS
80-20.
80-20?
80 is basically licensing, 20 is professional services. And as much as we can, we want to delay or to avoid doing any professional services. This is not it's not economic to our size,
Yeah.
and it's creating more revenue, but you need to invest a lot in order to get there.
And are you VC backed, or are you bootstrapped?
No, we're VC backed.
How much have you raised?
So we always, I'm starting, every company bootstrap, but then you need to scale, and the scale is basically only with VC. So far, we invested here till today $21 million, and we're right now started like 2 weeks ago another round, which is targeting another $20 million. So
wow.
Altogether, we will see in the next couple of months around 40 something million dollar, which with basically the total investment in the company.
And what's the team size, and where are they located?
So we are basically 32 guys here in this facility
In Israel.
In Israel. We have 2 guys in the States. One of them is chief medical officer. The other one is chief commercial officer. And given the fact that we just received our FDA approval,
Congratulations, I read about that.
Under the UA, we're basically building the commercial team on the ground, because, up to the point that you have an FDA clear, you can't really sell anything. You can do POCs, you can do studies, but you can't really charge anything. So this is the time to starting to sell. Unfortunately, COVID came. From one hand, it's good because the demand for this kind of technology is rocket. But the fact that you can't really fly, and hospital and healthcare system in the States are not allowed to enter, any vendor is not allowed to go to the facility, given, the numbers which is climbing. This is a little bit of a challenge, but, it's going to recover, because you're dealing with healthcare. This is not consumer electronics. This is not another engine which will provide you some insight. This is, the basic stuff.
And so, given that, what is the current stage of the company? Have you started selling yet, or are you still in the piloting and POC stage?
So I think we've stopped, or I think we have done most of the studies that we have done, we've published. Right now we need to move to commercial deployment, or taking, the current POCs and convert those to be, paying customers.
Got it.
And plus increasing the pipeline. That's the whole idea of investing in the US.